Please subscribe and share our videos with your friends. Thank you. Good luck.
Australia House.
Now, Mr. Jones, why do you want to go to Australia?
Well, I'm really thinking about my children. You see, there aren't many opportunities here. I lost my job last year and I haven't been able to find another one. Will I be able to find a job in Australia?
What do you do?
I'm an electrician.
Ah, you'll be able to find a job easily.
What about accommodation? Will I be able to find a house?
Well, that is a problem, but there are hostels for new immigrants.
And what about my children?
You'll be able to find a good school in Australia. Now, why do you want to emigrate to Australia, Mrs. Baxter?
It's Miss Baxter.
Oh, I'm very sorry.
That's all right. Well, you see, I've never been able to find the right man in England.
Well, Miss Baxter, I can't promise anything, but there are a lot of men in Australia.
Will I be able to find a tall, dark, handsome man there?
Ah, Miss Baxter, this is Australia House, not a marriage bureau. Come in, take a seat. Mr. Cook, isn't it?
That's right.
Why do you want to go to Australia, Mr. Cook?
I don't. I just want to leave England.
Pardon? What qualifications have you got?
Qualifications? Oh, I've never been able to pass any exams.
Well, what will you be able to do in Australia? How will you earn a living?
I don't know. But I won't be able to work very hard. I've got a bad back.
Checks and credit.
Next, please.
I'd like to cash this cheque, please.
Yes, madam, £30. Oh, you haven't signed it yet, madam?
Oh, haven't I? Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Here you are.
Thank you. How would you like the money?
4 5s and 10 1s, please.
I'd like to change these francs, please.
Yes, sir. How many francs have you got?
200. What's the rate of exchange, please?
The current rates are on the notice board, sir.
I'd like to buy this, but I haven't got enough cash with me. Do you take traveller's checks?
Certainly, sir.
Good. How much is that?
It's £30.
What's the exchange rate?
Oh, I'm not sure, sir. I'll go and check.
Good morning. Can I help you?
Yes, my name's Davis. I'm expecting some money from my bank in Toronto.
By post, cable, or telex, sir?
By telex.
Let me see. Ah, yes. Davis. £200 from the Royal Bank of Canada, Toronto. Have you got any identification, sir?
Well, I haven't got my passport, but I've got my driving license. Will that be all right?
Yes, sir. That'll be all right.
A holiday in Egypt.
I looked through this brochure last night, and I'd like to book the summer holiday in Egypt.
Yes, sir. The Hotel Cleopatra?
That's right. How far is it from the hotel to the beach?
About a 2-minute walk.
Good. How hot is it in Egypt in July?
About 28 degrees centigrade.
And that's the Great Pyramid, Mr. Harris.
Oh, yes. It looks very high.
It's about 137 meters high.
How long are the sides?
They're 230 meters long.
It's incredible. How old is it?
It's nearly 4,500 years old.
We're going through the Suez Canal now.
It doesn't look very wide. How wide is it?
About 60 meters. And it's 162 kilometers long.
Really? This is a big ship. How deep is the canal?
The average depth is about 10 meters, but they're going to make it deeper. Hello there, Mr. Harris. Are you coming on the excursion to Cairo today?
Oh, yes. How far is it?
It's about 150 kilometers.
Good. How long will it take to get there?
Only 3 hours.
Comparisons. Mr. and Mrs. Kent are old-age pensioners. They go to the shops every Saturday. They have to walk up a very steep hill between their house and the shops. They both walk slowly. Mr. Kent always has to wait for his wife at the top of the hill, because Mrs. Kent walks more slowly than Mr. Kent. Diana and Margaret work in the same office. They're both good typists because they type carefully. Diana never makes a mistake, and Margaret rarely makes a mistake. Diana types more carefully than Margaret. Some drivers occasionally have accidents, but Alan and David are very careless drivers. Alan has already had 2 accidents this year, and David has had a lot. David drives even more carelessly than Alan. Both Carlos and Miguel are good students. They speak English well, but Miguel has spent a year in England, so he speaks English better than Carlos. Tyneside United and Humber Rovers are both near the bottom of the 4th Division. The football season has nearly finished, and Tyneside have won only 1 match. They've played very badly. Humber Rovers haven't won a match yet, and they haven't scored a goal. Humber have played even worse than Tyneside. Tony and Jim work for a construction company. They're very hard workers. They work about 12 hours a day. Tony often works at weekends. He earns more money than Jim because he works harder than Jim.
A day off work. Bill Walker works for an import-export company. Last Wednesday morning, Bill rang his office at 9 o'clock. His boss, Mr. Thompson, answered the phone.
Hello, Thompson here.
Hello, this is Bill Walker.
Oh, hello, Bill.
I'm afraid I can't come to work today, Mr. Thompson.
Oh, what's the problem?
I've got a very sore throat.
Yes, you sound ill on the phone.
Yes, I'll stay in bed today, but I'll be able to come tomorrow.
Oh, that's all right, Bill. Stay in bed until you feel well enough to work.
Thank you, Mr. Thompson. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Bill.
Mr. Thompson liked Bill very much. At 12:30 he got into his car, drove to a shop and bought some fruit for him. He went to Bill's flat and rang the doorbell. Bill's wife, Susan, answered the door.
Oh, Mr. Thompson. Hello. How are you?
Fine, thanks, Susan. I've just come to see Bill. How is he?
Oh, he doesn't look very well. I wanted him to see the doctor.
I'll go in and see him. Hello, Bill.
Oh, hello. Hello, Mr. Thompson.
I've brought some fruit for you, Bill.
Thank you very much, Mr. Thompson.
Well, I had to pass your house anyway. How's your throat?
It seems a little better. I'll be okay tomorrow.
Well, don't come in until you feel better.
All right, but I'm sure I'll be able to come in tomorrow.
Bye, Bill.
Goodbye, Mr. Thompson.
At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Mr. Thompson locked his office door and switched on his portable television. He wanted to watch an important international football match. It was England against Brazil. Both teams were playing well, but neither team could score a goal. The crowd were cheering and booing. It was very exciting. Then at 3:20, England scored from a penalty. Mr. Thompson jumped out of his chair. He was very excited. He was smiling happily when suddenly the cameraman focused on the crowd. Mr. Thompson's smile disappeared, and he looked very angry. Bill Walker's face, in close-up, was there on the screen. He didn't look ill, and he didn't sound ill. He was smiling happily and cheering wildly. Applying for a job.
Come in, come in.
It's Mr. Chandler, isn't it?
Yes, that's right. How do you do?
How do you do? Please take a seat.
Thank you very much.
Well, I've got your application form here. I just want to check the information. Is that all right?
Yes, of course.
Now, you're 31, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
And you aren't married, are you?
No, I'm not. Not yet.
Mm-hmm. You went to secondary school and technical college, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
But you didn't go to university, did you?
No, I didn't. I started work when I was 20.
I see. You can speak French and Russian, can't you?
Yes, I can, but not fluently. I speak French better than Russian.
But you can't speak Spanish, can you?
No. No, I can't.
You've been to France, haven't you?
Yes, I have. And to Germany and Russia.
So I see. But you haven't been to the Middle East, have you?
No, I'm afraid I haven't. But I'd like to.
Good. Come in, please sit down. It's Miss Wallace.
Yes, that's right. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Well, I've looked through your application. Can I just check the information?
Of course.
Now, you're 22.
Yes, I am.
You aren't married?
No, I'm not, but I'm engaged.
You didn't go to technical college or university?
No, I didn't.
But you learned to type at secondary school?
Yes, I did.
You can speak French and Italian?
Yes, I can, but I can write them better than I can speak them.
I see. You've been to Switzerland?
Yes, I have, and Italy.
And you can take shorthand?
Yes, I studied it at school.
Four disasters.
Good evening. Our programme tonight is about disasters. This year there have been fires, plane crashes, earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. All our guests tonight have survived disasters.
Hi, I'm Bill Daniels. I live in Chicago. I was working in my office on the 28th floor of a skyscraper. I was dictating some letters to my secretary when the fire bell rang. I rushed out to the lift, but it wasn't working. The stairs were full of thick smoke. We couldn't go down, so we had to go up to the roof. When we got there, some people were waiting calmly. Others were shouting and screaming wildly. A helicopter managed to land on the roof and rescued 6 of us before the building collapsed.
My name's Martha Huggins. I was on holiday in the South Pacific, and I was staying on Pagohiti, a small island. I was having a rest when the volcano erupted. The noise woke me up. I looked through the window. Everybody was running towards the harbor. I just put on a coat and ran to the harbor, too. I managed to get on a ship. It was leaving when the lava hit the town.
Hello, I'm George Green. I'm a farmer. I was working in the field behind my house when I saw the plane. It was on fire. Smoke was coming from the engines, and it was coming down fast. I was running towards my house when it crashed into the trees behind me. I heard a terrible explosion. When I woke up, I was lying in an hospital bed.
Good evening. My name's Michael Pert. My wife and I were staying with friends on Santa Monica in the Caribbean. We were having dinner when the earthquake began. Everything shook. All the plates and food fell onto the floor. We were picking everything up when the ceiling fell onto us. We couldn't move, and we had to wait for 3 hours before help arrived. Travelling by air.
Can I check in here for the British Airways flight to New York?
Yes, sir. May I see your ticket and your passport?
Here you are.
That's fine. Can you put your suitcase on the scales, please?
Of course. How much does it weigh?
23 kilos. I'm sorry, but you'll have to pay an excess baggage charge.
Oh, it's only 3 kilos overweight.
Yes, sir. That's £6. Thank you. Would you like to go through to the departure lounge?
British Airways Flight 179 to New York is now boarding at Gate 4.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that announcement. Which flight did they call?
Flight 179 to New York. Are you going there?
Yes.
So am I. Gate 4's this way. Follow me.
May I search you, sir? It's just a security check.
Of course.
Thank you. Ah, what's this in your pocket?
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. It's just a metal comb.
May I see it, sir?
Certainly. Here it is.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Captain Gibson and his crew welcome you aboard British Airways Flight 179 to New York. We're now flying at a height of 30,000 feet. Our speed is approximately 600 miles an hour. We'll land in New York in 5.5 hours. The temperature in New York is now minus 3 degrees centigrade. In a few minutes, you'll be able to see the Irish coast. Our stewards and stewardesses will serve lunch in half an hour.
I've cut myself.
Oh! This knife's sharp. I've cut myself.
Oh, let me see it. It's okay. You haven't cut yourself badly. It's only a scratch.
But my finger's bleeding.
Oh, don't be a baby. It isn't bleeding much. I'll get a bandage.
Did you see the play on television last night?
No, I didn't. What was it?
Romeo and Juliet. I cried.
Cried? Why?
Well, it was very sad. At the end, Romeo killed himself and then Juliet killed herself.
Sounds silly to me. Why did they kill themselves?
For love.
They were silly, weren't they?
Now, my guests tonight are the two rock musicians, Dean and Darren Osborne.
Hello.
Now, you both play the guitar very well. Did anyone teach you?
No, we just bought some guitars and we taught ourselves.
I see.
Sorry I'm late.
Oh, that's all right, Mrs. Green.
It was our first wedding anniversary yesterday.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. We went to that new restaurant in the high street.
Did you enjoy yourselves?
Oh, yes. We had a very good time. We had 2 bottles of champagne.
Have you seen my new electric cooker?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's wonderful. It's got an automatic timer. It can switch itself on and off.
Choosing a pet.
Good afternoon, madam. Can I help you?
Yes, I'm looking for a pet for my son. Can you suggest anything?
What kind of pet does he want? A traditional pet, a cat, or a dog? Or something unusual?
Well, he'd like a snake or a crocodile. But he isn't going to get one.
We've got a nice Alsatian dog at the moment.
An Alsatian? Did you say an Alsatian? Oh, no. I've read about them in the paper. They're very big and savage.
Oh, no, madam. They aren't as savage as some dogs.
Really?
Oh, yes. Last week we had a small dog. It was only as big as your handbag, but it was as savage as a tiger. It bit me 3 times.
Perhaps not a dog, then.
How about a cat?
A cat? They aren't as friendly as dogs, are they?
No, but they don't eat as much as dogs, either. And they're very clean. They wash themselves every day.
Oh.
Or how about a bird? A parrot or a budgie? We've got both.
Which do you recommend?
Well, budgies aren't as easy to train, and they never speak as well as parrots.
Yes, but budgies don't need as much space as parrots, do they?
That's true. Budgies are very popular because they're so easy to keep.
Yes, but they're a bit noisy, aren't they? I want a quiet pet.
A quiet pet? Well, how about a goldfish? There's nothing as quiet as a goldfish.